This episode is going to be a little bit different, as the main focus will be on you. First of all, I want to thank you all for your support. I'm glad that you are enjoying the content. Second, and as I always end every episode, feel free to request any altcoin in the comment section, right? So today, I've picked the 8 tokens that you've requested. So let's get started, and of course, don't forget to smash that like button if you like such content. Starting with Solana. We have been overall bullish, making higher lows and higher highs, and this week we are rejecting a very strong weekly support, previously acting as a resistance, now turned support. Moreover, if you zoom into daily time frame, we have been overall bullish, trading within this rising channel, and we are currently rejecting the lower bound of this channel. Thus, as long as this lower bound and the support hold, we'll be looking for trend following longs. Of course, to be confirmed after breaking above this falling channel, just like what happened previously. We had a big impulse, a correction phase, formed an inverse head and shoulders, broke the neckline upward and started this next big impulse. This is exactly what I'm looking at. A new high to form around the upper bound, break to the upside, and expect this nice big impulse towards the 300. But of course, for now, let's take it step by step. We're around the lower bound of this rising channel and also above the support, thus we'll be looking for longs also on lower time frames, targeting the upper bound of the falling channel as a big correction phase if you want. First, the bulls already took over from a short-term perspective after breaking above this inverse head and shoulders neckline. We've broken above the 188 and started the next bullish movement. For the bulls to remain in control and to target this upper bound around 216, we need a break above this structure around 198. Once we have it, we'll be looking for longs targeting the upper bound. Meanwhile, of course, if we retest the support zone, we'll be looking for new longs. Next, we've got XRP. On daily time frame, as I mentioned last week, after this big dip, if you want to call it, after Trump news, after imposing new 100% tariffs on China. Anyway, you've got the story, right? So we've got this big movement downward, and we always expect something like 50% retest to fill the orders within this previous big wick. This is exactly what usually happens after a big wick. Just like, for example, what happened here. A big wick, price went down, filled 50% of it before pushing higher. Anyway, you've got the idea. We have been overall bearish, trading below this resistance at 2.65. If you break above it, we'll be expecting this bigger correction towards the upper bound of this falling channel, which would be around 2.93 round number. Meanwhile, we are still overall bearish, making lower highs and lower lows. But if you zoom into H1 time frame, just like what happened on Solana, the bulls took over from a short-term perspective, and we are currently in this correction phase. As long as this orange rising channel holds, we'll be looking for longs targeting this resistance, as I mentioned previously, around 2.16. And of course, if you break to the upside, expect further bullish movement toward the upper bound of this falling channel in red. Meanwhile, if you break below this for a rising channel in orange, we'll be expecting further downside. Next, we've got ATH. Weekly time frame looks very clean. As you can see, currently retesting the lower bound of this big support between 0.025 and 0.03. This support has been holding for a long period of time. We didn't have a break below this zone yet. Thus, we'll be looking for longs targeting the upper bound of this falling channel on H4 time frame. On H1, we are forming something like an inverse head and shoulders, which we saw previously. It has been a very accurate pattern on Solana, XRP, and many more. Thus, for the bulls to take over and start this correction phase, a break above the neckline at 0.032 marked in orange is needed. Once we have it, expect this long position targeting the upper bound of this falling channel. Meanwhile, we'll be hovering here within this big support. Next, we've got Supra. As per your request, it's currently retesting the support zone between 0.01 round number and 0.002. 0.001 and 0.002. Thus, we'll be looking for longs as long as this support holds. H4 time frame, we have been overall bearish trading within this falling channel. Thus, for the bulls to take over and shift the momentum in their favor from bearish to bullish, of course, a break above this previous major high at 0.00242 is needed. Once we have it, you can go for a long position and target the upper bound of the resistance around 0.0045. Meanwhile, of course, we are still bearish, and if we push lower and we have a daily candle close below this zone, we'll be expecting further downside towards the lower bound of the support at 0.001. Next, we've got GPS. Daily time frame, it's already retesting its all-time low. On H4 time frame, we have been overall bearish, trading within, if you want to call it, a floor between 0.005 and 0.01. Once we break above this resistance at 0.01065, we'll be expecting a big bullish movement toward the upper bound of the second floor at 0.02 round number. Meanwhile, this zone will be acting as a resistance, and if we retest it, we can expect further downside. Next, we've got Cake. Overall bullish, standing strong, even though we had this big dump, if you want to call it, dip, whatever you want to call it, we have been overall bullish. The bullish trend is still intact as long as the last major low holds, which would be around 2.5. If you have a break below it, of course, we'll be expecting further downside towards the 1.5, the lower bound of this big range. But for now, we are currently in the second floor. And as long as this area holds, we'll be looking for trend following longs. On H4 time frame, or you can see it better on H1 if you want, we've got the 3.2 acting as a very strong structure and resistance. We also have the upper trend line in red. So if you break above both the trend line and the 3.2 structure, we'll be expecting a massive bullish movement on Cake or PancakeSwap towards the 5 round number acting as a resistance. So long story short, if you break above the 3.2, look for trend following longs, and if you break below the 2.5, expect further downside. Next, we've got True. Daily time frame, we have been overall bearish. We are currently testing the upper bound of this falling channel and also a very strong resistance zone between 0.025 and 0.032. As long as this area holds as a resistance, the overall bias will remain bearish for True, especially that we've got this supply zone caused by Trump news, 100% tariffs on China, right? So overall bearish, retesting a resistance. If you zoom into H1 time frame, we can see a structure right there. If you break below the lower band of the structure at 0.021, if you break it like this, we'll be expecting further downside first towards the lower bound of this big range after the news. And if you break this range to the downside below 0.016, expect further downside towards the 0.01. But for now, let's take it step by step. While holding above the structure, we can still expect a bullish movement inside the resistance. And for the bulls to take over long term, to shift the entire momentum to the upside, a break or a daily candle close above this 0.032 is needed. Last but not least, BNB. It should be first, but it's the last one on the list. Daily time frame, we have been overall bullish. After breaking above the 1K, we have been surging like crazy. 40% movement upward from 1K. Anyway, we are currently in a big correction phase after the news. On H4 time frame, we are still holding above this structure. A very strong one, 1K.1 or 1100 strong support zone. If you break above the 1155, we'll be expecting this big bullish movement towards the upper bound of the range, which is currently the all-time high at 1375. But for now, we are retesting this structure as supply zone, and if you zoom into H1 time frame, we are currently in this correction phase. Again, if you break above the 1155, expect this movement. But meanwhile, if you break below this 1100, again, downward, expect further downside towards the 1K round number, where of course we'll be looking for massive long opportunities. So that's it for your requests for the past couple of weeks. Now, let me know in the comment section which altcoins you would like me to go over maybe next month. And I'll see you hopefully next week.